We are live, local and loud for our very first show on Eva FM, and my co-presenter Kevin is here. We've got some great guests on the show. Kevin, tell us who we got on our first show.
We certainly have, Jazz. In no particular order, we've got Siobhan Matzi. She's a very local singer-songwriter who has now joined a band, and she's doing some great stuff at the moment, and she's got some big gigs to tell us about. So we'll be talking to her in a moment. We've also got Teo B, who is a singer, songwriter and producer, working at HQ Studios in Leicester. And he's just released some lovely new sounds. So it'll be great to hear from him and spin some of his sounds. And also we've got Uncle Frank as well. He's drummer of Fun-Loving Criminals, as well as in his own band in his own right. And so it'll be great to chat to him and play some of his stuff as well. And also today's show is pretty much mostly about promoting Lara Jazz, which Lara is it's an event, one day sort of small festival, because there's about 50 bands covering 5 stages here in Leicester. It's on March the 22nd, and it's to support a couple of the charities in Australia that are mostly helping the wildlife that have unfortunately perished during all the fires that they've been having. So that's the lineup for today, Jazz.
Fantastic, Kevin. Sounds like we've got a great show lined up. And so first of all, we're going to talk to Uncle Frank. Uncle Frank, welcome to the show. Tell us about the band.
Then it's a family affair, Uncle Frank. Like I say, I've got my best friend, I've got my younger brother that plays drums, who's an awesome talent in his own right. And then our youngling, as I call him, Youngblood, Luke, who's also from Elston Road, Leicester. It's very important to me. Leicester's a big thing for me. Like I could have, like I say, I lived out in New York, and I could have really uprooted and moved and stayed in the States if I wanted to, but I can't. All my family's in Leicester. I do love this town. I'm well known for calling it the Promised Land. So, I've got my basketball team, I've got my football team here, I've got my BBC Radio Leicester, which I have a show on my home radio station. So, I just love this. And so but I am proud of the fact that we've took Uncle Frank internationally. We've had some great shows over in Europe, over in America. So yeah, we're pretty proud of the fact that we've done that. We've had major record label like backing, even though that is not, you want to be careful for what you wish for. I think
I was going to say, because like you say, you're on a record label. A lot of local bands that I speak to these days, they go, record label's great, but it usually seems to end in tears anyway. So
yeah, it does. I mean, if you
any advice perhaps for those bands?
It's hard if you sign by a major. Life's easy. It's majors will get you popped everywhere. They got everything stitched up, from your record pluggers to TV pluggers for getting your songs placed in the right place, and fast tracking you basically. And that's all well and good, but you enjoy that ride for as long as it lasts, because even that will burn out at some point.
It's like Easy Life, I suppose. They're on a major label.
Yeah, and they're great, and yeah. I wish them all the success. But my advice would always be, to someone who's been on, I've been signed to Sony, BMG. I've been, been with some Chrysalis, all kinds of people, and things change. So my advice to anybody is don't put your eggs in one basket, and try and learn as much as you can to have for yourself, because at some point you might want to do it yourself, and as much as, because you're cutting out a lot of the middlemen there, and it's less chance that you're going to get burnt. And I think ownership of your music is very important. You have to realise that as artists, if someone's going to invest in you, they're going to want something which sounds pretty good, right? You need that, but you're going to sign your music away for 15, 20 years. Well, they will own that. And for however long they want to keep you in their back pocket, the minute they want to take you out your back pocket, might be 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, you go another 17 years where they own your music. So you've got to be very careful, you know what I mean?
Just renew it every year or something like you would with your insurance.
Don't worry, it doesn't work like that.
I suppose if you want to get promoted, you got to kind of negotiate and
Yeah,
sort of meet them in the middle somewhere. Otherwise, there's no incentive in it for the actual record company.
Exactly. You know, it's got to be fair. But with the record business, that's what it's called, the business. A lot of the time, it's not fair. You know, you'll get promised stuff and it doesn't quite work out. And it didn't as far as Uncle Frank, but I'm past that now. I did a year of being bitter and wanting to hire the A-team to go around and kidnap them and all that. But I've kind of put that to one side, and now it's kind of like, it's more enjoyable, to be honest with you. If you've got a great distribution house, and there's luckily we're with AWOL, so it's international. So every release we do is dropped on every kind of streaming site and formats where you can go and get your music, whether that be Deezer, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, all of it. When we drop a single like we did last Friday, it goes everywhere. And that's good. They take a small percentage, but we own our new album. We own it all. We can decide what we want to do with it. And there's something quite empowering about that. And
Frank, you've used the word burn a few times here.
Yeah.
That conveniently leads us on to your next track, which you, in your sort of radio voice, can you kind of tell us what it's about and introduce it for us?
This is a song about passion and love, and it's balls out rock and roll. It's the new single from Uncle Frank, and it's called Let It Burn.
Let it burn, let it burn. The sun's gonna burn your eyes out tonight, so let it burn.
A new tune from Uncle Frank, Let It Burn. We are live local loud on Eva FM, and now we're talking Laura. Uncle Frank, tell us about Laura.
Well, I was approached by Andrea Kenny, who's a singer-songwriter. She's probably most well known in Leicester for being the singer of the Brandy Thieves, and I've seen her once or twice over the years, and I didn't know her too well, but she rang me and asked me to be a part of Lara, and she told me what it was all about. And I got to be honest, I was just completely blown away that she's going to take something on as major as this. I mean, you've got to understand that putting just as an art, to take just a solo artist, putting a show on is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of blood and sweat and tears. You know, to be quite honest with you, I love Leicester, but sometimes Leicester people really could do with a rocket up their arse. You know what I mean? Sometimes to actually get to an event,
That's it, yeah.
It's like it's quite difficult. You know, you can have major people come and play in Leicester, and you're struggling to fill the demand for all, or you're struggling to fill the curve, and you're thinking to yourself, what do you need to actually come out and see something? So I was blown away when Andrea come up to me and said, this is what I'm trying to do, trying to raise about 10 grand. I lived in Australia. A partner lives out in Australia.
I believe she's on her way there right now.
She's there right now. She texts me. She's sitting in the gate of the airport to go over, and she's also, while she's there, going to be looking at where best place this money is that they're trying to raise is going to be focused on. But I said, well, what's your idea? And she says, well, we want to do it over 5 venues at the town and try and give it a festival feel. And you can basically buy a wristband for £15, and it will get you into any 5 venues. And then
so which are the 5 venues?
The Cookie, the Soundhouse, Firebug, Too Funky Calf,
Duffy's.
one more, Duffy's.
Sounds like 5.
I think that's 5. That's 5. Yeah, I did good.
And they're all happening. Frank, it's all happening one night, is it?
It's all happening on Sunday, the 22nd of March, which I believe is Mother's Day. So maybe move your Mother's Day and do it on a Saturday.
All that could be your present.
Or that could be your present. There you go, £15.
Depending on your mum.
Where can people get ticket details?
That's a very good question that you should field over to your guest
Co-presenter,
Kevin.
Okay, you can get it from the internet. The site's www.laraozrelief, LARAOZ relief, RELIEF.com. And that's where you can get all the information. And there's a Facebook page for it as well. But
look, I just want to stress that, there's quite a few people that are part of this charity, but it's £15. When you break that down, there's 50 acts. That's 50 musicians that are giving up their time. It's 100% the money. So I know people that donate to stuff on charities, and you see charity benefits all around, your cancer trust and this and that. Let me tell you a little secret about how charities really work. And you see these bands that are playing on these massive charities. How nice is it of that band to play that charity? Their expenses will be about 20-30 grand. Yeah. So they'll take that straight out of the money that's raised on the charity. That's how it really works. With this, it's 100%. So none of the artists, me included, when we're asked, we're not making a penny. So it really does come down to the good people, the community that love going out and seeing live music in Leicester. £15 nothing. Break that down over 50 acts. It's like, what is that? It's nothing.
30p a show.
And you can go one wristband, all them venues, really make it a festival vibe, and it'll be for a great cause. Because when you look at the devastation in Australia, this is how bad it is. They'll probably never ever get it back to how it used to be. No. That's how bad it is. That sums it up in one phrase, really.
So Frank, for the homeless, if there were 3 things that could be done other than fundraising to make the life of homeless people better, what would you say they are?
Well, it's not so much. I mean, there is some people that are affected and have lost their homes. But really, it's the wildlife. I've been told I read a billion animals have lost, have been burned, which is just crazy, or drowned. So I mean, I can't really put that into words because I've never been affected in something like that. Yeah. It's like I heard Andrea being interviewed, and what she'd summed it up as saying is, can you imagine the whole of Leicester just burnt? No one's got a home. Any animals that you've ever cared for or loved, all dead. Just try and... You can't even imagine something like that, right?
It's like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, it's like a nuclear bomb. Well, that's what's just happened. And you've got people the other side of the world that are going to put their time and effort to raise a measly 10 grand. I mean, come on. Like you should feel really bad if you don't get behind this. It's nothing, and you get a full day's worth of entertainment with some great bands and local artists. Even that, just getting behind that and taking that in for a day. But then that bit of money that you've thrown in is going to such an amazing cause, and I've got nothing but love and respect for Andrea for dreaming up this. I mean, it's a massive thing to take on. I don't know if I'd be able to take on something like that, so I've got nothing but respect.
This is Soul on the Battleground by Uncle Frank, and then we're going to talk some more to Uncle Frank after we've heard this track.
My heart is burning up inside. This world is turning inside out, but I just don't stop believing in every single drop. Left my soul on the battleground. Worked so hard, bring your boundaries down. So very much alive, never died. It's still burning deep inside of me. Wake up every day. Body aches with pain, it just won't go away. Please lift me up. I need to stand and fight for everything I got. Left my soul on the battleground. Worked so hard, break these boundaries down. It's very much alive, never die. Burning deep inside of me. Left my soul on the battleground. Worked so hard, break these boundaries down. It's very much alive, never die. Burning deep inside of me. Burning inside of me.
That was another track from our studio guest, first studio guest, Uncle Frank, Soul on the Battleground. Frank, what inspired that track?
Oh, that's difficult. That's a very difficult question. That is to. How dare you ask me that? To be honest, it's I don't know. Some of the songs here, like I kind of write from life experiences. So, you know, me and Naeem will get together and kind of we'll put the music together. The music, not so much. Lyric is stuff that's going on at the time. You know, if I'm, you know, I have serious mental health issues, so sometimes I can be in quite dark places. So that song comes from that camp. Cool. Soul on the Battleground. Okay. It's like a battle with certain demons that I've had that I'm trying to let go of. So that's what that song's really about. It's a little bit deep to go into on radio, but it's kind of that. Musically though, that track was one that my brother co-wrote with me and Naeem, which is Boy Kid Cloud, aka Master Peels, aka Daryl Joseph Lewis Reed, who's just an amazing producer. So it's a special one, that is, because it's the first time. I think there's 2 tracks on the new album where Daryl's been a part of the writing, because normally it's just me and Naeem, but so it's a special one. I'm glad that you spun that one out. It's a good track. And it's the title of the new album as well, Soul on the Battleground. But yeah, that's what that's about, man.
Frank, when you get in the car, or in your case the van,
yeah,
when you leave the studio, what are the 3 most likely artists that you like to listen to? What influences your own music?
Well, my all-time favourite's Prince. I listen to a lot of Prince. Old Prince, quite rare stuff, not necessarily the stuff that gets thrown down people's throats at the minute. But a lot of Prince. I like a lot of old school artists from the 70s, funk era, and then I like my rock as well. So I listen to a lot of Rival Sons at the moment. They're like my favourite band at the minute. They're just amazing, and I know them, and they're good friends, and the singer's just a beautiful guy with an amazing voice. Very, very cool band. But you know, it changes from day to day, bro. Like it could be anything. I mean, the last 24 hours it's been straight up Warren G. Yeah. So I've just been caning Warren G, getting my hip hop fix on from back in the day. So it can be anything. That's what I love about music. It can be, you know, then I'll have a country day, and then I'll have a folk day, and then I'll have a Slipknot day, and then I just love all kinds of music.
Frank, what does good look like for 2020 for you?
It's great. A lot of festivals coming in, a lot of massive announcements that unfortunately I can't tell you about, because contractually I can't tell you about Glastonbury. Hint hint. I can't tell you about Uncle Frank playing at De Montfort Hall. I can't tell you about these things. So let's just leave it like that.
You can tease us a little bit.
But I can tease you with the names that I just dropped. But yeah, but there's loads of stuff in between that, tours and, you know, out in Lisbon and out in Europe, over in the States. Got a new record, got a new Fun Loving Criminals record that we're writing at the moment, which is nearly done. So I'll be going over to New York to finish that with Tim Latham, ISP, one of the greatest engineers ever, that's did everybody from... Well, just Google him, Tim Latham. He won 3 Grammys the other year for mixing the Hamilton musical. He's just an amazing guy. Did all Lou Reed stuff. Brilliant guy. So it's always fun being in the studio with him.
Frank, we could talk for hours. Unfortunately, we haven't got hours, so that's kind of the wrap up. Just before you go, where can listeners get more information about you, your great music, you know, access you on social media?
And see you at Lara. Where do you know where and when you'll be playing?
I believe that we're playing the Firebug. For Lara, I believe. I've been told that we're headlining that.
Headlining, yeah.
So that's what I've been said. But we'll move wherever Andrea wants us to move. You know, it's not about where we play. We really couldn't care. We just want to be part of it. So that'll be fun. If you want to check us out, go to www.unclefrankband.com and then just put Uncle Frank in all your social medias and stuff, and obviously Fun Loving Criminals.
Frank, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
This is Kiss and Tell by Uncle Frank.
Is true. Best stop now, 'cause the joke's on you. Tell me, little darling, is it true what they say? Was it best left to rainy day. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. Please don't ask, I don't kiss and tell. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. Please don't ask, I don't kiss and tell. Tell me, little darling, what you coming with now? Not in the mood for another round. Tell me, little darling, why your face is so down. You got no money to go up the town. You didn't know already, life ain't like that. Jeremy Kyle for a little chit chat. So tell me, little darling, are you on TV? Have you seen his guests? Could afford me. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. I don't kiss and tell. Please don't ask, 'cause I'm mad as hell. I don't kiss and tell. Tell me, little darling, how we gonna fix this? Share a little drink and a bag of crisps. Tell me, little darling, are you under the bridge? Your feelings out of date,